What's up, Galaxy? It's time for Bantha Soup, the show where everything Star Wars related is up for discussion. I am your host, Gil Garcia. Today in the Bantha Take, we're taking a look at a customized playset diorama of the hidden rebel base on the Temple of Yavin 4. For the past couple years, Star Wars has been in a really bad drought when it comes to action figure playsets. If you want a really good quality Star Wars action playset, you gotta go back to the vintage Kenner line. Kenner had so much ambition, imagination, and play value focus when it came to Star Wars action figure playsets. I mean, every original Star Wars trilogy movie had a heavy-hitting playset to accompany each film. The Death Star playset from A New Hope, all the amazing Hawk Battle playsets, and the Dagobah action playset for The Empire Strikes Back, and the most epic and my favorite, the Ewok Village action playset for Return of the Jedi. One playset that I always wanted and always thought it would be cool to have was the hidden rebel base on Yavin 4. Somewhere all my rebels could meet up and plan their next Imperial strike, but sadly, it was never made. Customizing is one of my favorite things to do. I had always kept my eye out for something that could potentially work for the hidden rebel base on Yavin 4, but sadly never had any luck until I came across the Imaginext Monsters Inc. Scare Floor Factory playset. Overall, I think the entire Imaginext toy line is really cool. It's something I would have totally been into if that line was out when I was a kid. They have some really great properties, figures, accessories, vehicles, creatures, play features, and best of all, playsets. Let's take a look at the Imaginext Monsters Inc. set I customized. At first glance, it's kind of hard to see the vision, but if you look past the bright kitty colors and stickers, you can almost see something start to take shape. Instead of a Monsters Inc. logo, I saw a surface to build a temple roof. Instead of a map of the world, I saw a screen to put up the Death Star plans. Instead of a door shredder and a door control, I saw a Rebel Troop observation tower and a Rebel Troop control station. And instead of a mailroom, I saw a Rebel briefing room complete with Death Star hologram. This was a really fun build. The first thing I worked on was the temple roof. What I did was I made a rectangle box to fit the shape of the playset that I could simply put over the top. I made the box out of a foam poster board. I then painted it a brownish red to look like temple rock and then just roughed it up a bit. Then I took a styrofoam cube, painted it and stuck it on top, and then I took a styrofoam sphere, cut that in half and did the same thing for a little extra detail. Then I glued on some various plants, vines, shrubs to tie it all together. I used an X-Acto knife to cut the Monsters Inc. logo off to make it all perfectly flush. It came out great, it was super cheap, everything I got at the dollar store. Working on the actual playset is when it got really fun. I took apart each and every piece you see to repaint. It was fairly easy to disassemble. All you really need is a screwdriver. I took off the entire back wall, the control room, the floors, the side rails, the mail room, and all the platforms. And some of the Monsters Inc. accessories I was actually able to repurpose and use for the Star Wars diorama. Like this little workstation Pruneface is working on. So I repainted everything with various spray paints using green, brownish red, a flat gray. I then went back and hand painted some of the details like this piping, fire extinguisher, and bell. Also went on my computer and printed out some cool Star Wars-ish graphics to use in various areas, just for a little extra detail and to really tie in the diorama. Once everything was repainted, it was time for the fun part of putting it all together and setting up some action figures. For the Death Star hologram, I actually took a Return of the Jedi Death Star micro machine and repainted it a bright royal blue. Then I took a screen canister holder from the Monsters Inc. playset, glued it on top of the mailroom spinner, and after a repaint and adding some printed graphics, I think it turned into a really cool looking projector briefing room. Building playsets and dioramas for my figures is one of my favorite things to do. I did it really cheaply, just with various supplies from the dollar store and Walmart. It's super fun and it makes your figures look great. 5,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, the ancient warrior race of the Massassi lived on Yavin 4 and constructed the Great Temple. Being enslaved by Sith, the Massassi species would be extinct by the time the Alliance occupied the Great Temple. It was from this base that Operation Fracture was dispatched to Jeddah. Yavin 4 was the jungle-covered fourth moon in orbit around the red gas giant Yavin. Prior to and during the Galactic Civil War, it hosted the headquarters of the Alliance to restore the Republic, a group of resistant fighters that opposed the dominant Galactic Empire. Following a major battle that took place around Yavin, the Alliance relocated its headquarters to Hoth to hide from the Empire. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, we would really appreciate a like on our video. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube to stay up to date on everything Bantha Soup. We do reviews, we build customs, we talk about everything Star Wars. And check us out on Facebook at Bantha Soup. Send us a comment, send us a message, send us some pictures, give us a like, let's talk Star Wars. Galaxy, thank you so much for watching. My name is Gil, and this is Bantha Soup.